this my beautiful friend, she asked me one day, like when she was pregnant, she was like, how does it feel when Omena sucks your breast? Is it like ticklish? I'm sure it's ticklish. And I was like, you know what, it's better to experience it, and so I'm here to tell you my own experience. So yeah, stay tuned and I'll be back. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Davina and I film about my marriage, motherhood, and all the good stuff. Now, for everyone who has reached out to me, I am so happy. Thank you so much for making this worth it. I am very, very grateful. Now to the topic of the day. So we're talking about my fourth trimester, and I realized that my fourth trimester has like a wild range of topics. So I'm going to start with the breastfeeding. I have few tips on how to make your breastfeeding journey very, very easy. This is what worked for me and I hope it works for you as well. Now, before I start my video, I want to give a shout out to my darling friend Toby. She had twins, two beautiful girls, and I want to tell you, Toby, I am proud of you and I love you and I love my babies too. And she named Kende after me. Is it Kende Abitaye? I'm not even sure. But I know one of them is Sha, my namesake. So yeah, congratulations Toby, congratulations Onye as well on my beautiful boy. I'm having so many babies around me and I'm so excited, and I hope you find this video very helpful, other moms too. So first thing I am going to say is, moms, please try and clean your boobs. So the thing is that areola, that's the black area of your breast, is actually very, very, very dirty, that area and your nipple, so you have to clean it. So this process should start before you give birth. I would recommend probably a month or two before you give it. Just start cleaning, because I heard that it stimulates labor. So if you're not ready for labor, please don't start it. But if you can, please clean your nipple. So I remember the next day after my surgery, my mom tried to put omena to my breast, and she was trying to suck, because that's a good thing. Like I said, my daughter didn't have a problem latching onto my breast. So I put her to the breast, and I realized that, man, my nipple was so dirty. Like, my daughter's mouth was filled with dirt, and I was like, I cleaned this nipple now, but I realized that I didn't do it so well. Like, you're supposed to clean it to the point that your nipple is no longer black or dark brown, but light brown. So yeah, so that's one thing. Please clean your nipple. And the second thing I would advise is, please, ladies, buy a very good nursing bra. Now, there are two types of nursing bras that I bought. The clip-on bras, the ones that you can clip, and you have the space bras, the ones that have space. These ones are really not padded at all. So yeah, those are two types of bras. Now, ladies, do not buy your size. Buy like 3 sizes bigger, because your breast is going to increase because of your milk supply. Please don't buy your current size, because you're going to regret it. Now, another thing I am going to state is, for me, I didn't have breast milk till after a week, or let's say no more than a week, like 10 days, and I was very, very, very frustrated. I won't lie to you. Like, I remember one night, I think 2 or 3 nights after I gave birth, when I was discharged from the hospital, my mom and my sister were arguing in the middle of the night. My sister was like, put omena to your breast, like, even if there's no milk, like that. And omena was crying. My mom was like, why were you stressed? Just give the baby formula milk, let the baby sleep. And they were arguing, and I started crying, and I walked up to my dad, because my dad was sleeping in a separate room, and I was in my parents' house at that time. So I went to my dad and I was crying and my dad was like, what happened? This was like 1 a.m. in the morning, and I told him that I cannot feed my child. Like, why can't I feed my child? Like, why did God give me so much big breast that I cannot feed my own baby? It was so funny. So another thing, let me just chip this in, is that I realized that women with big breasts like us, we get, like, our breast milk doesn't flow as fast or as much as women with small breasts. That's what I heard, and I think it's true, but I cannot prove the theory, so let me just state it like that, is what I heard. So I remember the next day, my dad now went to, he gave us money, everything for breast milk. Please buy it for this girl. This girl needs to have breast milk. So I spoke to a lot of people, a lot of new moms, a lot of grandmas, a lot of professionals, and this was what they told me. So first things first is I am going to advise you, please, you can talk to a lactating or a lactation professional, like the likes of Tolu the midwife. She helps me a lot. She helps me. And Milky Express, yes, Titi was also very, 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 very helpful, and I am very, very grateful. One thing Tolu the midwife told me to do, which was the first time I noticed breast milk coming out of my boobs, was she told me to put a cloth in hot water and then wrap my boobs with, like a towel, in hot water, and wrap my boobs in it. And that is what I did. And I remember coming out of the bathroom and then my breast started leaking. So that was the first time I saw breast milk. Mind you, my friend Eno and her mom also gave me that advice. So after I did it, it started dripping breast milk, and immediately I put the breast pump to start pumping milk. But I only got like 20 or 30 mils, which was okay for my child for just one feed at that time. So yeah, this was about, I think, 4 or 5 days after delivery, but the milk wasn't still flowing. So what I did again was I was taking liquid every hour. So every hour I either take water, or I take tea, or I take pap. Like I took pap. My people, I drank pap. Was my food. So I had pap, water, tea, pap, water, tea every hour, and I tried to pump. Okay, yeah, the supply was getting better. I think it went up to 50, and then it went up to 70, and then it went up to 80. But that would be like after an hour of pumping, and it wasn't even enough. And that's like maybe just one time. The remaining 3 or 4 times I pump in a day, I might get maybe just 30 or 20. I was very, 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 very discouraged. So yeah, so the first thing I did was I wrapped my boobs with hot clothes, and the second thing I did was take a lot of liquid. So please, if you can, take a lot of liquid, a lot of hot liquid. Many people had like the milk and Milo, that's the tea. Many people had like the pap and it worked for them. Many people just had like warm water and it worked for them. But what worked for me, surprisingly, guys, kunu. Like my friend, I have a friend who came to visit and she makes kunu. So she told me, okay, this is the kunu I make. If you can warm it and then drink it. And guys, I woke up to a bed full of milk. Like I've never had that much milk supply in my life. I realized that in like 10 minutes I've already had like 150 meals. So yes, what worked for me was kunu. And another thing that worked for me again was hot spicy pepper soup. So my mother-in-law, when she came around during the naming, she made like hot spicy pepper soup, and I ate that thing to the head, to the bone. And then she put a lot of spices, this banga soup spice, everything. She put like not the mix, like the original spices. So my breast milk supply was it now became it became a flow. I was flowing with milk, you get. Another thing I'll add to it is please rest. Now, throughout that first week when I didn't have milk, I was always bothered, researching, crying, stressing myself out, and I was so worked up. And I think that's another reason why the breast milk didn't really come out, to be honest. So I would advise, please, ladies, rest. Take a deep breath. Like, I don't see the problem in you giving your baby formula for the first few days, but I also advise that as you're giving your baby formula, even if there's no milk, put that baby to the breast. Put that baby to the breast every 30 minutes. Put the baby to the breast, because apparently, as the more the baby sucks, or the more you have like a pumping machine on your breast, it sends a signal to the brain that, oh, milk, supply the milk. So please, even if you have the formula, please put your baby to the breast, because I realize that some babies actually now get so used to bottles that they forget or they don't know how to use the breast. So that means you'll now be stuck with bottle for the rest of your feeding journey. till your baby starts solid, which is not so bad, but it's not so good as well. So if you can, please put your baby to the breast so that the baby gets used to both the nipple and the bottom. Another thing I'm going to say is eat very, very, very well. Eat well. Like, see, I don't think you should start doing a snapback after you give birth. Like, you have plenty of time to snap back. Now, what is more important to you is feeding your child. So I would advise you, please eat very, very, very well. Like, I remember one article I read told me to eat a lot of things with calories and take a lot of things with vitamin D. And I was like, you know what, bring on the food. So if you can eat well, I'm not saying go and overeat though, because the truth is, as you're breastfeeding your baby, you have to help yourself. That's why most mothers that are nursing a baby, they eat a lot, because as you are eating, your baby is eating. The breast milk is food, so anything you are eating, that is what you're feeding your child. So if you can, please eat well. It is not a crime. If you want to snap back, you can do that after 6 months. Like me now, I'm trying to do my snap back after my baby is going to be 9 months in like 2 weeks. So I've already started working out. I don't breastfeed her as often as I used to. So yeah, please, you have plenty of time. So breastfeed that baby, eat well, and stop bothering yourself about getting slim, please. Another thing I would say that helped me is I got a lot of lactating cookies from people online. And basically, I think from all the things I ate, I think wheat is very good for breast milk. I think nuts are also very good for breast milk. Almond nuts, groundnuts, I think those nuts give you very good breast milk, and some other good stuff. They can't really tell you all their ingredients in their cookies, but I think from all the cookies I ate, because I ate a lot of cookies, I noticed that they had these 2 major ingredients. So please, if you can, and chocolate as well. Yes, I noticed chocolate actually gives you breast milk. So if you can, please, you can contact a few of them on Instagram. If you want to know the ones I use, you can send me a DM and I'll send you their link, their contact link on Instagram. Yes, but they were really, 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 really very helpful as well. So another thing I would advise is please use a breast pump. Use a breast pump as much as you can. Apart from the fact that you're also increasing your milk supply, you're also giving yourself time to rest, in the sense that someone else can feed the child or feed your baby while you're asleep. Your husband can do it, your parents can do it, so that it will also help them to bond with those other people, not only you. Because I don't know if you're like me, but I don't like clingy children. So that is one thing I did that, helped me to not make my child very clingy to me. Like, I can leave Omena with her dad, go to the market, go and sleep, and I will wake up and the girl is all right. I can leave her with her nanny or anybody, because she's actually very, very independent. Like, she's not so dependent on me. It's only when she sees me sometimes when she sees me, she just used to turn her face. So I think that's another thing that can help you. Please try and pump out milk to give your partner or your husband or your parent or your friend or whoever to help you feed your child. If you are like my darling friend Toby, who had twins, I would advise you to get a pumping machine, and I would advise you to get the one with the double head. Now that's because you don't want to waste breast milk. So because I realized that most times when I'm pumping on one breast, the other breast might be leaking. That means that other breast too is full, so I can empty both of them at the same time. So it's better to have like the 2 pumps to empty the 2 of them, and you realize that the 150 ml you are getting on one breast can also get that 150 ml from the other breast. If you know that you want to have good breast milk supply, especially if you are having multiple children, please get the double head breast pump. Now, another thing I would love to state is that there's nothing wrong in storing your milk. If you're going to leave it out without putting it in the fridge, your child has to consume it within the next 3 hours. Now, if you're going to put it inside the normal fridge, your child has to consume it within the next 24 hours. Now if you are going to put it inside the deep freezer like blocked, your child can consume it within a year. Yes, I said it's 1 year. Also advise you get the bags to store your milk. You can always put your dates on it so that you know which one is older and which one is fresh, and you start picking from the older one. But guys, there's nothing bad in feeding in giving your children the stored milk. The only thing that I would advise is please don't microwave the milk, and if you can, please leave it out. Like if you want to feed your child, you can bring it out like an hour early so that it will defrost on its own, and then probably you can put it in hot water for a while so that it will feel warmer. But personally, there's nothing wrong in that. Another thing I would advise is please try as much as possible not to put your child on one breast. Now putting your child on one breast, trust me, one breast is going to be bigger than the other. That thing has happened to like 2 people I know. I have somebody that if you see her breast, she has to put pad so that the what they call it, the sorry, I'm laughing, so that the inadequate size will not be so obvious. But yes, it happens, please. So I noticed that Omena liked the left boobs more than the right boobs, but I still put her on the right one. I put her on the right one when she's not so hungry, and when she's so hungry I put her on the right one so that she will have no choice. But when she's not so hungry I put her on the left one because I know she like that. Now when breastfeeding, try not to put only the nipple in your child's mouth, because that is what used to cause the sore nipple and the nipple tear. You have to put both the nipple and the areola, that's the black surrounding, into the baby's mouth. Yes, it is very, very painful, especially for those people who give birth to babies that have tiny mouths, like my sister's like my nephew now, sorry, Adakole, he had small mouth, so breastfeeding was really tough for my sister. You could see the actual tears when she tries to breastfeed. But in order not to have further tears by having a nipple tear, she has to put both the nipple and the areola, just use your hand to fold it and then put it into the baby's mouth. It's going to be painful at first, but trust me, first of all, they'll be getting more milk when you do that, and secondly, they will be comfortable, and thirdly, you're not going to have a tear or the nipple sore or the sore nipple. Or if you want to know what breast pad to use so that you won't have the embarrassing breast leak, please refer to my previous video. It tells you what you need to buy as a mom to be. I forgot to mention as well, I was having difficulties in holding my baby to breastfeed. It was really very difficult. Like my baby was ready to suck, but to put her to the breast was very difficult. Sometimes I have to bend my hand. So my sister taught me something I think is good to share. So what I did, or what my sister taught me rather, was use your palm to hold the under of your baby's bum. That means the baby's head is going to automatically rest here. Now, and then you navigate your breast to the baby's mouth. Now put your hand like this. Naturally it's very, very uncomfortable. So what I would advise, since your baby is small, yes, it's very uncomfortable. So what I would advise is get a nursing pillow. That is this one I showed you in the last video. So you put it around your waist, and then you have your hand like this, and then you have your baby. So now that way, and you sit down, not stand, because standing is not going to work. So you sit down. I'm standing because I want to do a proper video for you guys. So you put your baby's bum here, your baby's head here, breastfeed, and you're good to go. And please guys, don't forget, especially those people with big breasts like me, try to make sure that you hold your breast not to cover your child's nose, so that your child won't suffocate. They are babies, they can't really talk. So please do that. And it is bye for now. Thank you for watching. Tune in for the next video. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah, mwah.